Okay, let's unpack this. We're launching into a deep dive today that takes
Yeah.
us straight into the heart of a massive music event, BBC Radio 1's Big Weekend, which recently landed in Liverpool.
hmm And our source material for this one comes from excerpts of a BBC Newsbeat report. So it gives us a kind of an on-the-ground snapshot reporting right from the thick of it.
And our mission really is to go beyond just listing who played.
Yeah.
We want to dig into that report, pull out the key moments, the performances that really stood out, and get a feel for what it was like for the artists and the fans.
Yeah, get the why behind the headlines, sort of.
Exactly.
And the setting itself, Sefton Park, it's a big deal. This wasn't small scale. The report painted a picture of, an estimated 100,000 music fans.
Wow.
Yeah, something like 100 performances, too, across 4 stages over just 3 days. The scale is definitely part of the story here.
Absolutely. I mean, just juggling that many people and acts, that takes serious planning. And being there, experiencing it, must be unique. So let's get our bearings first. The structure. 3 days, 4 stages.
Right. That immediately tells you there's loads of choice. Different things happening all at once.
Different vibes, yeah.
Exactly. You've got your huge main stage moments, obviously. But then these smaller tents, like the new music stage, each one cultivates its own energy, caters to different crowds.
Okay, so kicking off on Friday, the big headliner on the main stage was Tom Grennan.
Hmm.
And he apparently summed it up pretty well, saying that headlining the biggest weekend of the summer felt pretty crazy.
You can imagine. Sounds like a massive moment for him. And he wasn't alone on that stage Friday. You had the Wombats, Natasha Bedingfield, James Hype, Vicky Clyro, quite a mix.
A really diverse opening day. But festivals, they thrive on the unpredictable, right? The surprises. The report mentioned a few unexpected pop-ups on Friday.
It did, yeah. Ella Henderson, Mel C, the Zootons, even KSI apparently showed up.
See, that's classic festival stuff. Those you-had-to-be-there moments.
Totally. Creates a real buzz. And it shows artists just wanting to jump in, be part of that festival atmosphere,
Right. Okay, so moving on to Saturday, Sam Fender, main stage headliner. Now, this was interesting. The report said he was nervous before his set.
Yeah, I saw that too, it seems. Counterintuitive, maybe, for someone that big?
It does.
But it's a little peek behind the curtain, isn't it? Even at that level, that massive crowd, the pressure's still there.
So how did he handle it?
Well, that's the thing. The report says he just completely connected with the audience, led these huge singalongs, 17 going under, hypersonic missiles.
Oh,
So it's like the energy from the crowd almost pushes back against the nerves, becomes this powerful thing.
that connection must be incredible. Grounding, maybe.
Yeah.
And Saturday's main stage also had Tom Odell, Sugar Babes, Miles Smith, Blossoms, Wolf Alice, building up that vibe all day.
Definitely building up. But Saturday also delivered maybe the biggest talking point, the surprise Ed Sheeran set.
Ah, yes. This wasn't leaked way in advance or anything. Announced just hours before.
Just hours. Huge buzz, obviously.
But the really interesting part, for me, is where he played, not the main stage.
No. He chose the new music stage.
Why, did the report say?
Yeah, his reasoning apparently was fascinating. He said he'd never played it before, and he felt that specific tent just had the best energy.
Wow. Okay, so a global superstar deliberately picks a smaller stage because of the energy. What does that
Yeah.
tell you?
It tells you a lot, I think. Maybe sometimes that intimacy, even in a big tent, or the raw enthusiasm you get there, maybe that's more appealing than just the sheer scale of the main stage.
It highlights that the different stages really do have their own personalities, not just the lineup, but the whole feeling.
Exactly. The new music stage, you often get fans who are super keen to discover new acts or really support artists on the way up. It creates a different kind of interaction.
Makes sense. Okay, Sunday, grand finale, and the weather decided to join the party.
Oh, yeah. It certainly made things memorable. The report painted this contrast, lovely sunshine for Tate McRae early on. Sounds perfect for a Sunday festival vibe.
Ideal.
But then later, just as Haim were playing, bam, heavy downpour.
Oh no, you feel for the crowd getting soaked. But Haim's reaction sounds like they handled it perfectly. They told the crowd they'd party harder in the rain.
That's the spirit, isn't it? That kind of defiant energy from the stage can totally lift everyone, turn a bit of misery into part of the fun.
Definitely. Meanwhile, over on the new music stage that day, the headliner was Jade, formerly of Little Mix, of course. A really big moment for her solo career.
Huge moment. And like Sam Fender, she apparently talked about nerves, too. Said she was feeling a little bit nervous, it being her first big solo performance.
Understandable.
Totally. She mentioned having tunnel vision, just focusing on getting the set right. But the report noted the crowd in the tent were just brilliant, really cheering her on, super supportive.
That audience support must be so important, especially then. It shows they're not just watching, they're kind of willing you on.
Exactly, they're part of it. And that new music stage on Sunday also had South Arcade, Joy Crooks, Flow, Self-Esteem, quite the lineup again.
And then the big finish, main stage,
Yeah.
Mumford Sons.
The grand finale, described as a rousing finale, apparently, a mix of new and old songs.
They brought the whole headliner experience, it sounds
Yeah.
like. Crowd favorites like I Will Wait, Rushmere.
Yeah, and the report mentioned the visuals, too. Fireworks, confetti, the
Yeah.
full works. They really owned that closing slot.
Getting that description really helps you picture it. And hearing the band's perspective was interesting, too. Marcus Mumford apparently said he was stoked to be headlining again, admitting it had been a while.
Mm-hmm.
And he framed Big Weekend as a chance to get back in the saddle for us and find our home again.
Find our home again. That's quite a phrase, isn't it?
It really is.
Speaks volumes about that connection artists feel with performing live, especially maybe after time away, and that specific festival energy. It's where they belong.
Yeah. And Ted Dwayne had that great quote, too, about the challenge of a 1-hour festival slot, trying to figure out how did he put it? Supply people with the essence and the finest perfume of Mumford Sons.
Huh. Finest perfume of Mumford Sons. Brilliant.
Isn't it? Capturing the absolute core of what they do in that short time.
Exactly. Distilling it down.
So how did that essence land with the fans? What was the feeling in the crowd for the finale?
Well, the report shared a few reactions. One fan, Cian, called it a full circle moment. She'd seen the band years before with the same friends. That tells you about the memories festivals create, the nostalgia.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. Another fan, Curtis, just summed it up as amazing. Just so much fun. What a lovely way to end the weekend. Pure joy, basically.
Nice and simple. And what about the rain factor? Did anyone mention that?
Yes. Rebecca, who was there, kind of echoed the Haim spirit. She felt Mumford & Sons would be just as good in the rain as well.
So the atmosphere overrides the weather again.
Seems like it, if the connection's strong enough. And her friend Izzy added, it was a good atmosphere, and she felt emotional.
Emotional. That word keeps coming up, doesn't it? Full circle moments, pure fun, feeling emotional. That really gets to the heart of it.
It does. It's not just about listening to songs. It's the shared experience, isn't it? The memories being made, the connection with the band, the people around you.
So pulling all these threads together from the report, what does it really tell us, you think? We've heard about artist nerves, stage choices, weather chaos, fan nostalgia, deep emotion.
It paints a picture of a festival like this as a really complex ecosystem, maybe. It's a mix of slick, planned performances and totally spontaneous stuff.
Right.
It shows the artist's vulnerability, even the huge stars, and how much they actually rely on and value that audience energy.
And it really underlines how things like bad weather don't have to kill the vibe if that connection between the stage and the crowd is strong enough.
Exactly. And the fans aren't just passive, are they? They bring their own history, their own energy, their emotions. They co-create the atmosphere, that energy Ed Sheeran was talking about.
So artists are trying to deliver their essence, their finest perfume, while fans are finding these full circle moments or maybe feeling like they've found their home again in that shared space. It's more than just a gig.
Much more. It's often deeply personal, emotional journeys happening for thousands of people, all at the same time, set to music.
So this deep dive into the BBC Newsbeat report has given us a real flavor of Radio 1's big weekend. We've seen the highlights, the spectacle, but also those unexpected moments.
Yeah, a whole range of artists navigating that unique festival world and confirmation, really, of that powerful, often emotional link between them and the audience.
It definitely reinforces how dynamic these events are.
Yeah.
Shaped by everything from an artist's mood or stage choice to the clouds opening up to the collective vibe of, 100,000 people.
It's a potent mix.
So thinking about everything we've just discussed, the artists talking about nerves, finding their home, delivering their essence, and the fans having these full circle emotional reactions. What do you think it is about the live festival setting specifically that creates that really unique, powerful, and sometimes unpredictable connection between an artist and their audience?